I've raised a lot of money for the next race that I assume I can't use for myself, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't know. I think I'm not allowed to run again. I'm not sure. Am I allowed to run again, Mike? I better not get you involved in that argument.
Well, that's fucking ominous. You know, 2 terms wasn't even something that presidents had to do until 1954 or 1956, something like that. Before then, it was just considered the thing to do. There are a few people who went beyond it, but mostly people understood that 8 years past that, things start to get messy. We don't need messy, we need change. And I know we as human beings like to rail against it. We like to fight against the idea of change, but changing of the guard is pretty important. And in fact, I've got a few things here that I've jotted down to kind of exemplify why change is such an important thing. 2 terms prevent presidents from using their positions to rig elections, because imagine how easy it is to just rain down disinformation and muck from way up here when you're just up there forever. You could just say no one else has the kind of ideology that I do. No one else can do this job. And then after 8 years, if you're forced to do it, well, that's where you have to work harder and deliver real results for a good legacy to make sure that the people who do come after you have the steps, right, to actually get things done, to make the change, to make this a better place to live, to make it a different and better place to live. No leader is so important that they can't be replaced either, because what if you're up there and you're just senile and you're just breaking everything because you have such a backwards way of thinking? You need to be replaced. And if we have to suffer through 8 years of just senility before we can actually enact that change, then so be it. But regular elections provide stability and smooth transitions. You know, you can try to make as many January 6ths as you want, but in the grand scheme of things, you're still getting kicked the fuck out because of the laws that are enacted, unless you plan on changing those. And then fresh, young leaders provide new ideas and future solutions, which I cannot stress the fact on how upset I am of the older people, the 80, 70, 80 plus people. Not everybody out there who is old has backwards way of thinking, but there are so many people who are in those positions, who are that old, who are holding on to money and power, so afraid that it's going to slip out of their fingers and into people who think differently than they do. Well, we need people who think differently. We need to change. We don't need to keep going backwards to things that we think make us feel good. You need to stop fighting nostalgia, and you need to start letting the change in, you mother greedy. The world will not be yours. The world isn't anybody's. The universe isn't anybody's. It changes consistently around us, and the one thing that we can do is make it fucking tolerable to live in. So, fucking let it go, accept the change. Let's get somebody else in there in the next 4 years, huh?